Now let's talk about building effective e-commerce and websites and online stores in such a way that we're doing this effectively. Well, first of all, the online world, the world is decentralizing. People do where they are. Now, 20 years ago, that meant physically. I'm sitting here in my office talking to you, I'm physically here. But now we mean where they are online. I'm on Zoom, you're on Zoom. Some people are on Facebook, some people are on LinkedIn. Some people use different strategies in their use of online tools, but they do things where they are. And if we decide we're only going to be in one place, it'd be just like if you had one store in Kansas City, one in Topeka, and no store in Wichita. Well, people in Wichita won't buy from you in that case. People are in a lot of different places. They're in different media. They're on different devices and different systems. And sometimes we have a really hard time understanding that that's one person. So I'm talking to you on a box. This is my smart device. If I was talking to you on a smart device, I would seem like a different person to a computer. So we want to make sure we have a plan to have one brand, that we use our unique value proposition wherever we are, that our personality stays the same, that it's the same experience. It's kind of like, years ago we said, I go to McDonald's because it's consistent. I know it's always the same. Well, we want to be the same way across our different electronic commerce sites. We want to have the same message. We want to, we never want to tell a story without making a point. We never want to make a point without telling a story. But we want to make sure that story is consistent from device to device, whether it's written or it's on video or if it's just sound. So we're now in a situation where we need to be in a lot of places at once. And that's very different. 10 years ago, we could have a website and we were competitive. Now there's lots of customers on lots of systems, and we have to think about how are we going to have a synergy among systems, and how are we going to use and reuse our stories and our content from place to place. Now let's think about some of our management parameters, some of the goals. We're really seeking engagement. We're really seeking people being involved with us, giving us that mind space, making us their default choice, and using us rather than considering alternatives. But we've got to break that down into pieces. There's traffic, there's financial, and there's reputation. So let's think about our focus areas with the traffic or the activity. How many visits, how many clicks, how many people came to our site and left right away without clicking through? That would be a bounce if they don't click through. We can define what's an engaged visit. Were they here 2 minutes? Were they here 3 minutes? Did they look at 5 different things? Did they put something in their cart? Do people abandon their cart? Where are people coming from? Is traffic referred to us? So that's what we mean by looking at traffic. We look at profit. Well, certainly revenue versus spend, or cost per acquisition or cost per engaged visit. We can look at their lifetime value. We should, if we are adding an online channel, we should get more business from our typical customers now. If we have an extra channel, they should buy more. And we should focus on that average order. We want to make sure people are spending more with us and not less. I've been in database marketing long enough. I remember the 800 number days when we went to websites. Average order went down for a while till we figured out how to market online, and then it went back up and was higher. And of course, we want to look at reputation, which can also be considered a form of excitement. Are they repeating, or are they churning out? Is our list growing? Are people talking about us? Do they say positive things online compared to our competition? Is it more positive? Do they talk about us more than the other options? We want to think about logistics, approvals, and seamlessness. Now, you probably already thought about logistics to an extent, but let's think about approvals and seamlessness, because that's where we can run into problems. So the management of the logistics. Who says what is okay? Who can do which job? Not merely communicating with the customer, but making things happen. And how do we have a seamless customer experience so that a customer who goes to our retail store or our website or our Facebook page, they feel like we're the same company, and I think they're right. How do we maintain that experience as being consistent? So some of the challenges is marketing it as a process, our ideas that we collect and create, where we place and track what we analyze has to be placed into some kind of a production schedule where the work is getting done consistently and over time. We really run into a project management challenge in addition to our logistics challenge. If we're going to give somebody responsibilities, we have to consider their authority. Who are we empowering to do what? How do we take stoppers where 10%, 20%, 50%, 100% of the time, a customer has a problem or issue and wants something, and we have to stop and wait and go to somebody else? That defeats the purpose of what we're trying to do in an efficient online environment. So we want to have clear areas of responsibility and remember that customers see one company. They don't care if it's our Facebook page or if they're standing in a retail store. Now, to build effective e-commerce, we want to at least equal what it was when it was in person. That's a basic start. And actually, it should be better when you think about it, unless we're Build-A-Bear, and the whole point, or it's Disney World, and the whole point is the experience of being there. We should be able to beat it if they're just trying to buy something that they're planning to use. Granted, shopping can be a pleasant experience. It can be entertainment. So we want to understand when the buyer asks, what's in it for me? What's the answer? And that's a challenge. That's a challenge because you and I, we're each into our own thing and our own business. And I'm a company person and you're a company person, and we see things from the inside. And sometimes it's a challenge to say, what does the buyer really want here? And then that cost or price is everything they give up. And human error is going to exist in all systems, but we can minimize it in e-commerce. We can take it out almost completely. And we can design in the human touch where people can use chat, they can call, they can make it easy to escalate. So some of our key challenges are understanding what's in it for me from the buyer's standpoint, making online better, beating competitive options. How do we lower their cost? Making it easy to find things and learn and decide and say yes right now, and it's out of my mind. I don't have to think about it anymore. It's like, I won't go to the hardware store to buy a $2 bottle of plumber's sealant. I'll just buy it online, done, and because I'd forget anyway at the store. And I want to think in that human voice. How do I reach people with chats and calls and emails? How do I make order menus that fit the way people look at things?